started.
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy.
Setting up your webinar for YouTube Live.
Setting up your webinar. Everybody gather round.
For
Setting up
YouTube
your
Live.
webinar. For YouTube Live.
YouTube Live. To
Live.
Yeah.
I believe what you meant to say was true love.
Conquers all.
Exactly.
It's for true love. See, that is a solid reference. Solid reference there.
Reference.
Live.
Claven.
Oh,
Yes.
boy. That's from a movie,
Yes.
Greg, called The Princess Bride.
I've seen The Princess Bride.
You may be familiar with The Princeless Bride,
I don't.
which
Now I really don't know what you're talking about.
whose name is a Really?
No.
That's the subtitle for one of the later King's Quest games.
Oh, is it really? Huh.
What's
Yeah,
this?
King's Quest, I believe so.
I
King's
don't remember that one.
Quest, the
Remember the Perils of
Princess-
Rosella, and To Err is
That was
Human, and
King's
fanfic
Quest.
Where
version.
to Dig on Tomorrow.
King's Quest 7, The
Oh, okay.
Princeless Bride.
You know what? I never
Hmm.
played King's Quest 7.
That's the one that looks all like animated.
Disney-ish.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be Disney-ish. Doesn't really pull it off, I don't think.
Yeah, comes off more like Don
Bluth.
Bluth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Knockoff Don Bluth,
That terrible.
which is even worse.
Well, I mean, Don Bluth is already knocked off Disney.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
More secretive Nim than Disney.
Oh,
Which is weird because, Don Bluth used to work at Disney.
That's right.
Those are his origins.
That was kind of his claim to fame when he was starting out on his own.
Yeah, it
wasn't
was former Disney animator.
Yeah, secretive Nim from former Disney animator Don Bluth.
Yes, you might remember his work on The Black Cauldron.
I saw that movie in the theater. Come
Did
on.
you really?
I
Man,
did.
I've only ever seen that movie once.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I've seen it on.
Great.
I saw it on DVD because once it came out on DVD, which was like the last thing they put out.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time. coming.
Oh man.
Anyway,
Yeah.
hello and welcome to episode 706 for. Wait, I
Yeah.
should say what podcast.
You should probably
it
say
is.
what podcast it is. Yep. I mean, people who are listening
I
will
should-
probably know.
They probably know, but in case they don't.
Well,
Hello and welcome to episode 706 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday,
is.
May 19th, 2020. I am your host, Chris Johnston, and with me, as always, from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Good evening.
Yeah, how's it going?
It's not going too shabby. Had our first bonfire out back tonight.
Ooh,
Oh.
wow.
Because the burn ban is lifted here in Nova Scotia. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a good time.
well,
Cut it
I hope
short
you
for you
had fun at
jerks.
that, stupid. You big
Wow,
jerk
that
dork.
that seemed aggressive.
Well, the
Berlin.
burn ban is
Oh.
lifted, so I'm free to
No, I
to
get it.
deliver some sick burns to Greg.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you
Yeah.
think of that,
It's pretty funny.
Dorcas?
Yes. Did you stay 6 feet apart around the fire?
No, because we're allowed to have bubble homes now.
Okay. What's that?
So you can name
Bubble
one
homes?
household
That
in
is
your
the-
family bubble.
That is
So
like
but
the
you need to be-
foam
it needs to
house
be
of tomorrow in
mutually
Wisconsin
exclusive.
Dells.
Xanadu.
Yes,
Yes.
Xanadu, the foam house of tomorrow.
Needs to be mutually exclusive. So your household and the bubble household need to be,
Also, the
Yeah.
heat from the bonfire just kills the virus.
I heard a president say that at some point.
So, I mean,
I
science
heard that
backs it up.
somewhere. That's somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, joining me from the great state of Washington is Mr. Phil Theobald.
So, listen, all you folks out there in TV land,
Oh my.
get you some glasses there. Sweep in the land. Remember what I said. Now, I'm a hip hopper. Yeah. Go get you some blue blockers. Word.
Right then.
Like that?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
figured we
Did you
get
ever-
our ads done at the top
You
of
ever
the show.
have blue blockers?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
But that jingle stuck with you.
The jingle will forever.
The jingle is forever. The blue blockers.
I'm
forget it.
often
Forget about
often
it.
struck by all the good you could do in the world if you use your superpowers for something productive instead of remembering every shitty little piece of trivia from
Now,
30,
to
40
be a
years
success
ago.
takes determination,
see?
so I'm enrolling in the College of Automation. The
See
College of
that.
Automation. Give him a call. Just dial success. SUCCESS. Success.
Are you sure that technical college hasn't been prosecuted to the full extent of the law?
I don't know. I mean, it's not run by any heads of state at the moment. So
Oh, there you go.
I mean,
Yeah, that is the
there's
deciding factor.
there is a chance that it might actually be a legitimate school.
Possible.
Lincoln, Lincoln, thinking Lincoln, better carpeting for less. Call CJ.
I don't think I know that one.
How do you
I
not
don't
know the
think I
Lincoln
know that one.
National
I know
29,000?
Yeah,
I
Empire.
don't-
National
everybody knows.
29,000.
Yeah, that one's
was a,
not as ingrained in my memory.
That
as
was a
Empire.
Chicago. That was a Greg wouldn't know that because that was a local
No.
Chicago.
Although I do know
588-2300.
Well, yeah,
yeah,
Empire.
I know that.
they went national. So
Yeah.
Well, then it was 800.
Yeah.
exactly.
800. It's like, wow, they didn't pay for any new singers.
You could,
Why would
well,
they?
you could tell the 800 part was
800,
recorded 10 years
Yeah, that's what I'm
after.
saying.
800, 588.
It's like we could do a whole jingle, or we could just have them come in and sing 800, and that'll
Empire.
be
You
plus
double
alpha.
the cost.
you can't like discard the memories of
No, there
Yeah,
are some of those.
Chicagoans.
I was gonna say there are some of those local jingles that endure. There's a company, there's a cab company here called Casino Taxi that
Yeah.
people they still use the same jingle they were using 40 years ago because people just know it.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
And even if you didn't ever need a cab, you know it.
Yep.
You know the jingle.
Casino Taxi, they're the fast ones. Casino Taxi, near as your phone. No need to run, don't get wet. Dial their number 429-6666 or
Whoa.
425-6666.
Oh man.
Wow.
I know who
Hmm.
uses that taxi service.
Mhm.
Friend of the show,
Wow.
the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But anyway, they still use it,
uh,
and it's still the same recording from 40 years ago.
Yeah.
any of you guys get Scoob?
We watched it last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it terrible?
I don't know. I slept through most of it.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
It was not good.
It's from what I understand, I mean, they call it Scoob,
Right.
but
It's really like the Shaggy story, right?
it's my understanding that like the non-Shaggy and Scooby characters are hardly in it, and it's
Right.
No, that's not true.
oh
no.
really?
The first part of it is just, I mean, Shaggy and Scooby are the main characters,
Right.
but the first part of it is them meeting each other
Right.
when they're children. Well,
Uh-huh.
and then they meet Fred and Daphne and Velma at the same time.
Okay.
But then it's very quickly a flash forward, and it's basically a Scooby-Doo episode.
And then
okay.
isn't it also kind of like a backdoor, like we're gonna kickstart some sort of
Yeah, it's a Hanna-Barbera.
Hanna-Barbera,
Yeah, like Captain
animated.
Caveman's in it, and Dirk
Yeah.
Dastardly and Muttley.
Well, Blue Falcon, of
Blue
course,
Falcon
is
is
pretty
in it.
heavily
Yeah, and whatever his dog's name is.
Dynamut. I want to say
Dynamut. That's it, yeah.
Dynamut. Yeah. Is
Yeah, I mean-
is Jabberjaw in it?
Not that I know of.
Big
Although
shark
there
who
were a
sounds
lot
like
more.
Curly.
There were a lot more characters. They were like during the credits they had sketches of a lot of the characters. But a lot of
Okay.
characters sketched out that weren't in the movie.
Okay.
Right.
You want to know a
But
secret
we're
about all
watching it
those
in the other room? Right
about all
now
those
on
old
podcast.
Hanna-Barbera cartoons from like the late
Most of them weren't very
60s and
good.
70s? Most of.
They're not just in
I
general.
liked
They're not very good.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby Doo is good.
I liked Scooby-Doo when I was a
Old
kid.
Hanna-Barbera cartoons are garbage.
Garbage. Yeah.
Absolute garbage.
Especially when you get to like the dregs. I mean, Jabberjaw is not good.
When I
of course
I
it
woke
was.
up, I did doze through a very
Right.
big chunk of the movie.
Right.
When I woke up was right around the time Captain Caveman was on screen. And I was pretty excited about that because
Right.
I just always
Captain
thought Captain Caveman was funny. But
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you know, there's like it's very much like an MCU too. Like the store next to the storefront they make for Mystery Inc. is Pebbles something or other. And, you know,
okay.
like there's some references there too. But
The
yeah,
only
it's-
good thing to come out of that era of Hanna-Barbera cartoons is Space Ghost Coast to Coast,
Right.
Sea Lab 2021, and Harvey Birdman.
Yeah, and that's like 20 years ago almost.
Yeah, I know, right? Isn't that terrible?
That's terrible.
Isn't that terrible?
Talking about how bad Hanna-Barbera cartoons are.
Uh-huh.
It's amazing what we will accept as entertainment when we were kids. Just in
well, yeah.
general,
I mean, it was
like
all
a lot of
garbage.
things.
Well, we didn't have the choice that our kids have.
Right.
Now.
That's true. That's
Like,
true. But
you know,
so during this stay-at-home time, Charlotte, my daughter, is watching YouTubers play Roblox and things.
Yeah.
And she has like a favorite YouTube channel, and sometimes she'll watch on the TV, and I'll sit down on the couch and like look at my iPhone or whatever. And I don't know if you guys did this back in the day, but like when my parents sat down and I was watching like Inspector Gadget or something, and I thought it was like high art entertainment.
Yeah.
And I would say,
Inspector
"Are you
Gadget was
watching
not
this? Are
good.
you watching this? Like, are you getting this?"
Are you seeing
My
what I'm
parents.
seeing here?
And they were like, "I'm not watching this."
Penny's
Like,
the
I
one
had
who's
that
actually
moment-
solving the case.
I had that moment this past week with Charlotte where she was watching somebody play Roblox, and she was like asking me if I was
Explain,
watching
yeah.
it, and she was laughing hysterically, just cackling, and I'm just like, I don't understand this form of entertainment, and I don't think I ever will. Like he's
Yeah.
watching
Yeah.
these 20 somethings play Roblox, and it's just
Yeah.
like it's not
That's weird.
it's not funny. Although it kind of reminds me of like if you had a camcorder back in the late 80s and you made like little movies, and I know you did, Phil.
Oh, absolutely. although my little movies were made in high school.
Oh, well, there you go.
And they will never-
It was very similar. It was very
They
similar.
will never
'cause
be
these-
released. You will never see them.
Because these people are like their late teens or early 20s, and they're YouTubers making millions of dollars.
Of
But
course.
they're like playing Roblox and making jokes that are just not at all.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
But my daughter is like eating it up with a spoon and cackling, laughing. It's
Oh,
like I don't
man.
even know what the joke is. But
I got my son's been
Makes me feel
begging
old.
me to play Fortnite with him.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
I've been promising and promising. I finally got to do it this weekend. He reminded me. He's like, "You said you play Fortnite with me today." I was like, "Okay." So we're playing playing around. I'm on the Switch and he's on the PlayStation 4. And very early on in the match, because I haven't played Fortnite in forever, I got downed or knocked or whatever it is.
sure.
So I needed someone to revive me, and I got to
Yeah.
yell "Rev me, bro," without a hint of irony.
Rev me, bro.
You mean
Revive?
res
bro.
me, bro.
Revive?
Revive.
I say res.
Well, that's because you're
That's
43.
wrong.
Res
Yeah.
me, bro.
That's very
Resurrect me.
Rev.
Resurrect.
I wasn't dead.
Okay.
I needed to be revived.
Okay, fine.
Jeez.
Man, see, this
You're
is
gonna-
why you don't understand.
I don't
Clearly,
understand.
you're
youth
not even
culture.
putting in an iota of effort here.
CJ's
Right.
gonna look real awkward come the
I played
rapture.
Fortnite with Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't know the lingo.
I
Clearly,
don't.
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't. No.
Has anyone seen Thanos? I'm looking for the Thanos dance. Finn during the course of this pandemic, he's been broadening his entertainment choices. He's still he doesn't go on the YouTube. He does not. He's very wary of YouTube because we've instilled a
Yeah.
solid sense of fear in him about that, which is probably for the best. But
Yeah.
But he's been browsing around on like Netflix and Disney Plus and things like that, and he has
It's pretty bad, too.
discovered.
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Can
garbage
be.
on Netflix.
Oh, absolutely. But he's discovered like
Too hot to handle.
tween. Well, he has his kids account.
I
He has his
know.
kids account. Yes. But he has discovered like tween sitcoms.
Oh yeah,
You know, like the Nick
yeah
sitcoms or like the Disney
My
Channel
oldest still likes
stuff.
those.
Hannah Montana.
He hasn't watched Hannah Montana. He was watching
Hey,
one.
Jesse.
He was watching one about the Big Show, the wrestler
Yes,
Big
the
Show.
Big
That's-
Show
that's
has his
new,
own
though.
television show. That's
where
new.
he's playing
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
Where he's like, "Hey, it's me, the Big Show. I'm a professional
Show.
wrestler, and
These kids are actors, but I do have real kids.
my kids get into mischief, and then I say something about wrestling or something."
Yeah.
And he was watching another one about some kids who, for some reason, own a toy company.
Yep. Is it Bizarre Fark?
I don't
No, there's another one. Bizarre
It's-
Bark, I think, is a video game company.
Oh, the thing
Or,
that I took
streaming or
notice
something.
was it had one of the actors from Letterkenny is in it.
What?
One of the
Really?
one of the hockey players. One of the hockey players from Letterkenny is in this sitcom about the kids who inherit, win in a lawsuit. I don't know the setup.
I know the show you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it,
Yeah.
but I did not notice that.
But I don't know what his, but he's just playing like, he's just like the dumb older guy whose brother, friends. I don't know how he's related to the main characters, but he just shows up and says something stupid, and that's it.
I can picture that show, but I can't think of it.
Yeah. But but he's really been getting into those quite a bit. So
Interesting.
they're not good,
Kids
but
are into those a little bit, but they're not good, but they're not generally offensively bad.
Right.
I don't watch them and think they're not getting a good message here.
Right.
The only one that I've ever had a problem with was there was one, I don't think it's actually on anymore, at least he's on it, but Logan Paul was one of the characters on the show. So they knew who he was because of that show, and they would actively be looking him up.
Right. Yeah, you don't want that.
I don't want you watching anything to do with that idiot. Like,
yeah, seriously.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've just been informed, by the way, that my daughter has cried during a scene in Scoob. This is the first time she's cried during a movie.
This is there's a
because
are they near the
First
end?
try. They must be.
Yeah, there's a couple scenes in it that I could see getting emotional about.
Yeah.
Like
Mostly
Scooby.
Yeah.
Why'd you have to sacrifice yourself, man?
You know what one of the biggest problems is?
What's that?
About that movie? I do not like Will Forte's.
Oh, he was
It's
just
not good.
Listening to the trailers,
No?
he was,
No.
and I love Will Forte.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I do too.
But him
But he was
trying to
not
do
the
a
right-
Shaggy voice,
No,
terrible.
it's
Oh,
just
no.
squeaky. It sounds like Will Forte trying to do a bad
Yeah.
Shaggy impression.
And
Like,
it's like you got Matthew Lillard
exactly.
is really
amazing. He's amazing.
He is
He's
damn
Shaggy.
good Shaggy, and he
Yes.
is Shaggy, and he has been Shaggy for what 20 years or something.
More than that.
I don't
Yeah.
understand.
And he is, he loves the character, and he's super willing to do it. And they probably could have hired him for like half of what they paid Will Forte
Mhm.
Yeah.
and gotten a better result.
But I couldn't
Probably
let it
so.
go. Like I said, I dozed off during the movie anyway.
Yeah.
I think we might have just lost power. I'm gonna
For someone who's lost power, I can
Oh,
still
geez.
see you on
no,
your
but
computer.
my UPS is going off. Hang
Your
on.
what? Is that?
I noticed that the Sega closet behind you is still lit.
Yeah.
brightly.
Yeah. There's a lot of lights and active.
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear it.
What is
Yeah.
that?
That's your battery strip.
Yeah.
You ever have a
And the only way for me to
UBS
fix it is going to
or
be for me to
UPS
reset
thing
it.
under your
don't-
desk at work?
Give me a minute. I just saved the project file here. Just hang on a sec.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
This may not reset the computer. I don't know.
Okay. We're going to find out. Everyone watching on YouTube is having a,
It's going to, right?
we're going to see what happens.
His
Where we
video
learn
freeze?
about how the sausage gets made.
Did his video freeze?
Yeah. Yeah, did it freeze or
Did he lose power?
yeah.
I'm guessing he lost
Although
power.
here, quiet. I don't hear the high pitched squeal anymore.
I don't hear the squeal. Yeah.
So I have a feeling, Greg. I have a feeling that's a frozen image. We've lost Greg. Like Greg. Why'd
Come
you have
back.
to do it?
Come
Like
back,
I
man.
can't believe they shot Jabberjaw. All the little kids are gonna be crying.
I guess at least he saved his file.
So what?
There we
oh,
go.
oh my gosh, there it
Now
is.
it's just you and
It's
me.
gone. It's just you and me
That's right.
alone again.
When the power goes
Naturally.
out in Halifax, we continue podcasting.
Uh,
All right.
so what? I don't care about spoilers. What happened in Scoob, or do you know?
My wife said.
Although, hold
let's
on.
see.
Anyone in our YouTube chat who is
Spoiler.
sensitive to spoilers about Scoob might want to cover your ears.
Cover your ears. Yeah. Apparently,
What happened?
Shaggy and Scooby have a fight and walked away from each other at one point in the movie.
Oh,
And she cried.
That's it.
That's it.
They had a
I had a fight.
like you wanted anchovies on the pizza and I wanted pineapple. Scoob, I'm out of here.
I know.
It's
crazy.
That's
yeah.
the okay.
That's
Okay, so it's not something big.
No,
it's just they had a
no.
You know what? I've not seen this movie.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna guess they make up before the end.
I'm gonna guess that as well. I'm gonna guess that is not how the film ends.
That's the dramatic end.
That's the
Smash cut to
zinger at the
black.
end of the credits. They have a fight. And
Like this is it, Scoob.
I'm done with you.
I've had it up to here. Ruck-roo, Raggy.
But so it was one of those
out of here.
Same things like Trolls World Tour, where the rental was $20.
Oh, and
but this time the purchase is $25. So at that point, we just like,
bought
let's
it?
Buy it.
Yeah. I haven't sat down and watched the new Trolls movie yet. Finn really enjoyed that. Finn likes the Trolls movies.
The first one was okay.
I only watched the first one.
Watched the second one, and it seems okay.
The first one wasn't bad. It was
non-offensive.
Fine. It was fine. I'll tell you what, though, man.
What?
The premise of the first Trolls movie, where you have the I want to say Boglins, but I know it's not Boglins because those are those old puppets. But it's something.
Yeah,
like
I know what you're
Boglins.
talking. Bergens or something.
Bergens, yeah, that sounds right.
That sounds right.
Maybe because the whole premise is that like there's like one day a year where the Bergens eat trolls.
That's right.
And for some reason, man, that stuck out to me as being really disturbing.
Oh yeah,
because like the Bergens are aware that the trolls are like sentient creatures that can talk.
Yeah,
and are intelligent.
Well, at least some of the Bergens are aware of that. Yeah.
But they eat them live, right? They just like
I think so.
That was the whole thing. Was like, we just play some. Oh, Greg's rebooting his computer. Everybody
He's rebooting. Yeah.
But yeah, they just like take the living trolls and just shove them in their mouth and eat them.
Oh,
like while they are alive and protesting. I'm just like, man, that is dark.
That is pretty dark.
That is really dark, and I think that gets kind of glossed over in that movie about how horrifying.
Right. Well, at the beginning of the movie, just the kid in the movie, he's gonna eat a troll, but then the troll's not there. Or whatever.
The Bergen kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's all excited.
They don't actually. Do they show somebody eating a troll?
I don't think they ever.
They just imply it.
I mean, they flat out say we're going to eat them, and
but
I think they have like
they show it
like the cardboard cutout flashbacks where it's like, oh, and it's presented as like cute and silly, like, oh no, I'm a little troll, and whoop, and then they go into his mouth and nom 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 nom, I ate you. But it's never presented with like, when it's not like some sort of stylized flashback,
right?
Where you don't actually see Justin Timberlake's character screaming as he's being placed into a giant monster's mouth, and
that's a deleted scene.
His body is being crushed and viscera is spilling out, and they're slurping up tiny little intestines that are spilling onto their plate.
No.
And then they play a techno song and everyone dances.
Everybody dances.
Do you remember?
That movie had an okay soundtrack.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the whole point,
they usually,
right?
Exactly. And they play like 3 bars of so many tracks too.
Yeah, exactly.
What is it? In Trolls World Tour, they played like the first 3 bars of Brass Monkey by the Beastie Boys. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know what that song's about, don't you?
It's about a monkey.
It's about a brass monkey.
About a monkey. He's made out of metal.
Monkey made of brass. Sure. Yeah, that's all that song's about.
Oh man,
taking it literal.
Oh boy. But yeah, that's so I don't know. We gotta watch. I gotta show Sin. I gotta show Sin. Phonic, the Hedgehog is where I was going with it.
Yeah.
We got the Sonic movie. Gotta
Oh,
watch that.
okay. Yeah, I
That
gotta
was-
watch that.
Did you
too.
watch that yet?
I have not watched it yet.
It's
no.
not. It's
It's another one that's not bad.
it's fine. It's a perfectly serviceable kids movie. I would not. I'm not going to sit down and watch. It's like, hey Dana, you want to sit down and watch Sonic
yeah.
tonight? But but it is perfectly tolerable to sit and hang out and it's a good family night movie.
Sure.
'Cause the kids will enjoy it, and it's like it's actually a fun enough movie.
Oh, you talking
Where,
about Sonic?
Talking about Sonic, yeah,
Yeah.
we got to talk about kids movies while you were gone.
Yeah. Talking about Scoob,
Yeah,
Trolls.
I found out the
Sonic.
big spoiler about what made his kid cry.
Oh, what was
And
it?
it's
It's a fight between Scooby and Shaggy.
they just have a fight.
Have a fight.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
That was one of. I think I could see two moments being sad.
really.
That was one of them. Yeah.
Okay.
So should we get to some video game news?
Well, I don't know.
We've
I
talked
can't-
about kids movies and
Yeah.
everything. Enough, I think. Enough.
Okay.
The
Okay.
people come for video game content, right?
Do they?
I don't know anymore.
I mean, that's what
I don't
Easy
know.
Allies is for. I think
I
people come to
wouldn't.
us for the stupid crap.
That's very true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Uh,
So I'm going to start off with the big story, of course, of last
Ah.
week, and that is that Panel de Pon is coming to Nintendo Switch
yeah,
Online
baby.
Yeah. I thought of you guys
This-
when I saw that.
this coming week, May 20th. There's an update. So I'll read off the games that are included in this update, and then we'll talk Panel de Pon.
Okay. So,
So,
yeah, because this is the new Switch Online NES
The
and SNES
Super
releases.
NES, Super NES and NES releases.
Yeah,
So
well, what's coming on NES first?
NES, Rygar,
Okay.
end of list.
I never
Super
played Rygar on the NES.
You know what? I've never really played Rygar
I've heard
beyond
it's good.
a few minutes myself, but yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about
I
it.
used to rent Rygar like all the time. I never finished it, but I rented the hell out of it
Oh yeah,
back in the day. So this will be good
Okay.
to actually have it this time.
yeah,
And then on the Super Nintendo,
yes.
got Operation Logic Bomb,
Okay,
which was the original title of this podcast.
Wow.
that was
Really?
good.
You've been working on that joke
He's-
all week.
He's been sitting
You
on
like
that
it?
one.
You like
he
it?
was sitting on
Yes.
that. Yeah,
Good. Wild Guns,
Wild Guns. Okay,
That's cool.
Is that
That's a good game.
Is that Natsume?
Natsume, yeah. And,
That's the one that was
Logic Bomb-
re-released a couple years ago.
Logic Bomb was
Oh, yeah, that's
Jalico,
right.
overhead shooter.
Yep.
And then Panel de Pon. So
Which of
4
course
games.
is better known to us Westerners
Tetris
as
Attack.
Tetris
Tetris
Attack
Attack for the Super
Or-
Nintendo.
or Puzzle League.
Pokemon
for-
of the Pokemon variety or of the Planet Puzzle League
Oh, and the
variety on the DS.
Yep.
There was also an Animal Crossing Puzzle League as part of the Welcome Amiibo update to the 3DS game back
Oh,
in
is that
like
right?
2015. Yeah.
Huh.
So
Forgot about that.
yes, indeed. So Panel de Pon, very happy that that's coming out. It's just the Japanese ROM.
Yep.
I'm happy with that
Yep.
because
It
for those
is-
who have never played Tetris Attack, the game has nothing to do with Tetris.
No.
First of all,
No.
they just Nintendo licensed the Tetris name because that was the only way they were going to sell a puzzle game to the masses
Yeah.
back in the early 90s, and they probably weren't wrong to
Right.
think that. But the differences are so Panel de Pon is the main characters in it are fairies,
Right.
and in Tetris Attack it's Yoshi and various Super Mario World and
Well, it's
Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi's Island characters.
Yoshi's
yeah.
Island characters. That's right. So a little bit of music, and the title screen is obviously different, and there's like a story mode in there, I believe, too. But the puzzle action gameplay remains unchanged, which is awesome because it's
Yes.
a great game that looks really simple. It's just a sort of a match 3, match 4 color system, but you can do all sorts of combos and crazy stuff. Back in the EGM days, Tetris Attack on the Super Nintendo was like a mainstay game. Like people
Oh,
broke
yeah.
that game out and played it all the time and got so good at it that the game had a lot of slowdown.
Yeah.
For one thing, after you got like a ton of combos, it would start slowing down like to a crazy extent.
Yeah. The game doesn't under normal gameplay circumstances, it doesn't really have slowdown.
No, it doesn't have slowdown at
But
all until you get like a plus 50 combo
Yeah.
or something like that, where it's just like
I
Once
was
you
never
get
in
entire
danger of that.
yeah,
screen is garbage blocks, and you're like, oh my god.
yeah. Once you get exceptionally good at it and can start setting up like combo after combo after combo, because it's one of those kind of
Yeah.
like chain combo things where you can set up a combo and then blocks clear and everything falls, and that can trigger more chain reactions, and those blocks fall, which trigger more chain reactions.
Yep.
And if you are very, very good at that game, you can set up.
You
boom,
can
boom,
keep
boom,
going
boom, boom, boom. Yeah, and
for
especially
a long while.
I remember specifically it was Dan Shu.
Yeah,
who
Dan Shu
was probably the best in the office at that
and probably
game.
Andy Barron. Those two
Yeah.
were like right
Yeah,
neck and neck, really.
but yeah,
I remember you being pretty good at it, CJ.
I'm pretty good at it. Yeah.
CJ was pretty good. I was actually pretty good at it myself. I
I
think
remember
you were better
watching you
than
all
I
play
was.
it during when I remember watching you all play it when Pokemon Puzzle League came out.
Yeah.
I wasn't
played the
there when
hell out of
Tetris
that, too.
Attack was a thing, and you
Right.
guys. I played it for a little while, and I'm like, yeah, I sucked at Tetris Attack, and I suck at this, and then I watched all you play. It's like, there's no way I'm playing this with you people because
Yeah.
it'll be over in 10 seconds.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, the cool thing about this particular thing is via Nintendo Switch Online, you can play online with
Oh yeah, that's
another
right.
friend.
I forgot about that.
And it just
part.
handles it like it would a local game. So you can hop on
Yeah.
that, use the Nintendo Switch Online app to do voice chat and pretend like it's 1993.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. Looking
Yeah.
forward to that.
Gotta play
In other Nintendo news, they announced a new Paper Mario game. Paper Mario: The
Aw,
Origami
yeah.
King has been
Yes.
announced. July 17th
excited.
as the release. date.
Writing off that Tiger King press, of course.
Naturally.
Yeah.
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 So this is a completely original Paper Mario game. They did not do the thing where they bring the Wii U game over to the Switch.
Right.
So I guess Color Splash is just going to stay a Wii U game
think
forever,
that's-
which is sad because
that's
Color Splash was really good. But
I don't agree with you on that.
well, I thought it was good.
Color Splash was a game.
I thought it was good. Anyway, Origami King looks excellent.
Yeah, it
Yes.
really does.
Yeah.
It really does.
And apparently it has real RPG battling, which, okay. I read that somewhere on the internet.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be true. Because
Hmm.
remember in the recent 3DS games, and I think even in Color Splash, you didn't level up or anything, right?
Yeah, a
There
sticker.
were
I
some things
remember
missing.
there was something really weird about. Was it Sticker Star or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sticker Star, you don't level up.
I really despise that game,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and I love the Paper Mario games. Like,
Yeah, Sticker
No.
Star I was not.
yeah,
big
I
on.
really didn't like it.
Yeah. But this one
But
looks cool.
still excited
Looks,
about this. So I'll be buying
looks
it day
cool.
one. Yeah.
Looks very cool.
Yep.
I'm into it.
Hopefully, I'll have my Joy Cons fixed by then.
Oh yeah, you've been.
Okay.
They're so bad.
Yeah. Just get a new pair.
I'm not
A new
spending money on a new pair of them.
Pair.
These ones aren't even a couple years old yet. Like, what the hell?
I know.
That's
That
ridiculous.
is something that Nintendo really does have to address at some
Yeah.
point because they are.
I mean,
just
replacing them is
really bad.
fine, but
Yeah.
yeah.
At least you can replace them.
Well, you can't right now,
Well,
but yes.
true. But you can buy new ones. Is what I meant.
I'm not looking at that as a plus. At
Okay,
least I can
right,
go
right,
out and spend, $80 on a new set of these things that broke
Right.
twice. They've already been repaired. These are the ones they sent back after I sent them originally.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah, I think my daughter's Switch. I think her Joy Cons are going as well.
Yeah.
In other release date news, Iron Man VR, which was delayed around the
Oh,
time
yeah.
that Last of Us
Mhm.
Part 2 got delayed, that is now coming on July 3rd from
I-
Camouflage.
I have that pre-ordered at Best Buy.
Oh, okay.
That was one of my last Gamer Club Unlocked purchases
Okay.
back
Yeah.
back in the day, so I could get the discount on that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And we've got the TurboGrafx 16 Mini coming
Yes.
out. Of course, right
You're
after
welcome, everyone.
I bought one from Japan, and right after you bought the TurboGrafx 16.
Yep.
It's funny because when that was announced, I got an
graphics
update
right
from.
here.
Oh, nice! I got an
Ah.
update from Amazon telling me my expected delivery date
Yeah.
for it, and it still said sometime between January 2021 and January 2022.
So
But I thought
you could see why I would buy it from Japan if I had the means,
Right.
right
right there.
I mean, I still expect it'll go out right when it was actually, ready to be
Yeah.
released, but I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But I did, mine showed up.
Cool.
As
And
did mine.
I'm gonna say this too. My Japanese version, I ordered that from, like I said, from Amazon Japan. It got here in 3 days.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I get stuff from Amazon Japan faster than I do from Amazon US.
I was gonna say I've got stuff I ordered at the beginning of April that hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ordered my core graphics after we were done recording last week, and I got mine on Thursday.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is the same time frame, because I believe I ordered my turbo on Saturday, like the day before we recorded, and it showed up on Wednesday.
Oh, okay. There you go. Same time frame.
So how close is the TurboGrafx Mini to the size of an actual TurboGrafx 16?
Did you see my pictures I posted on the Twitters?
I did, and it looks. I saw a picture of the stack of mini consoles, and it's pretty big compared to every other one. It looks like.
Yeah.
I did post. I followed that up with because I still have my TurboGrafx here in my closet, and I busted it out. It's really damn close.
I thought it would be.
It's not mini.
Yeah, I mean, I've almost assumed that the not the core graphics, but the PC engine is almost probably
pretty
exactly
close
the same
too.
size as a PC engine.
Yeah,
but
it seems pretty close.
You know what, Greg? Here, I'm going to,
with a Hue card being the size of a credit card.
I'm gonna put this in the chat here. Go look at that tweet real quick. That has a couple pictures that I took of the.
Can I put that into the YouTube chat? I did, just in case. And Phil's frozen.
And indeed, sitting on top of.
Wow, it's real close.
Connection.
It's real close. Yeah, you're right. That is like, I mean, you're talking like maybe what, 1.5 to 2 inches wide. The real one is like 1.5 to 2 inches wider.
Yeah, it is. It is not terribly smaller. So yeah, I mean, like the picture
also,
of
gotta say,
Mini.
Very jealous of the TurboGrafx 16 and CD player in the case.
Pretty excellent.
That's pretty nice.
Gotta say.
Yeah, when you bought because the Turbo CD was an add-on, of course. Yeah. When you bought the Turbo CD player add-on, it also came with a very sizable hard plastic case that you could hold the whole system in and all the cords and everything. So
also, I wasn't sure that this was going to happen. So pretty cool to see that there is the plastic cover for where the turbo booster would go. That's actually removable on the Mini.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, and because the cables all plug into because the quote unquote turbo booster chunk that connects to the back, that's just a hollow plastic shell and it pops off. The cables actually plug into the system itself, and then you snake the cords through the turbo booster.
Right.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's a nice touch. It's a really
nice touch.
Yeah, it's a pretty beautiful little machine. I'm very glad I sprung for the US one as well, just because again, CJ not having had the original system, no nostalgia, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah,
but I do have a ton of nostalgia for the turbo. So
my nostalgia is based entirely in my desire for one.
Yeah,
back in the day, although a friend of mine had one, and I did eventually get one myself. But and just some of the games for it, I always sort of pined after them.
Speaking of nostalgia, Activision. Well, I guess Tony Hawk announced it himself early to all of his supporters and whatnot. But so Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 is coming back as a remastered package for PC, PS4, and Xbox in September 4th, I believe.
There it is.
The date on that.
That's pretty awesome. Those were great games.
With a lot of the music intact.
That's pretty neat too.
The skaters, apparently they did new scans of them as well. And a lot of the old, a lot of the old
So they all look
environments
really
back.
old now, or like
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's
because
like
that was
young,
20
like-
years ago, 25
Right,
years
that was
ago.
20 yeah.
Oh man.
There's no spring chickens there anymore.
Right.
I wonder, like, if the younger generation of gamers knows what a monstrous hit those games were.
Right. It was
They
huge.
were huge.
Because I remember, like, they were working at EGM, they were pretty high up there. I mean, I remember going back and looking at some old magazines when I started at Expert Gamer, and actually I think this even went through to Game Now for a while, Phil, and you can confirm or deny this, but they wanted us to get Pokemon on the cover no matter what.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Even if there was no Pokemon coverage in the magazine, we needed a reason to put Pikachu on the cover or some Pokemon on the cover, to the point that I remember one time we justified it by running a group of tricks in the trick section. So like Expert Gamer, where it was a walkthrough magazine, a good 40% of the magazine was tricks.
Right.
And I think like out of the couple hundred that were in there, like 3 or 4 of them were something to do with Pokemon. And that justified putting him on the cover. But Tony Hawk wasn't far behind for a while there, where you wanted to get the name Tony Hawk somewhere in the magazine.
Yep.
Well,
at all
and
times.
even during as we're doing the after show review quizzes and whatnot, the various ports of Tony Hawk games come up
All got reviews
all the time, and every version gets reviewed as if it's a separate game.
Yeah.
Yep. And I mean, it was a big deal. Like, remember Tony Hawk 2 came out when the Dreamcast launched?
Yeah.
I think it was 2. Maybe it was the first one. Anyway,
the real question is Tony Hawk 2, will you still be able to unlock Spider-Man?
I doubt it.
I highly doubt it.
Activision doesn't own that license anymore.
know.
So.
Maybe on the PS4 version.
Oh, could you imagine how pissed people would get?
And people would be a little pissed.
Yeah.
I would imagine not, though. But they
Anyway,
do
those are
have
fun
things
games.
like split screen mode in there, looked like, and there's also online play, which I don't think the original 2 had. Maybe on Xbox, but anyway, we're still in news because holy crap, a lot of things happened last week. So let's talk about the Ghost of Tsushima State of Play. This was on Thursday, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. But State of Play focused entirely on that one game and had 2 or 3 people from Sucker Punch come in and kind of narrate or introduce the game and gameplay segments. And then they had like 19 minutes of straight up gameplay of Ghost of Tsushima. And wow,
boys, it's pretty.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Looks beautiful.
Well, let's not go that far.
About it. I'm very excited about it because I'm a huge Sucker Punch fan all the way back from Rocket Robot on Wheels and a Sly Cooper. And
I love that
basically
Rocket Robot on Wheels is your Sucker Punch
everything
cornerstone.
It is because that game was awesome.
Really got the rippling waves over the grass look in the game really, really well, and the music during all the gameplay was gorgeous. Like
completely,
big fan.
Yeah, and stuff like the wind guiding you to your next checkpoint was super cool, and some of the so it's a bit of a minimal HUD. But they had the things like the wind is going to guide you to your next checkpoint. They had like points of interest on the map. Like you'll see towers of smoke that maybe you want to go investigate, or a strange tree, or then animals like there's birds that'll come and like while you're riding your horse, try to like guide you towards secret stuff around the map, which I thought was great. And in a couple shots, they show the world map. And for an open world game, I was very happy to see not a whole lot of like icons everywhere on this map. I don't know if that'll
thing
hold.
With icons on the map. I don't understand.
Here's the thing. Like there's just too many points of interest in the Assassin's Creed games anyway. There would be stuff that I was just not interested ever going to do whatever that would still be highlighted on the map. So it would just be noise on the map. And I'm not a fan of that. So I like the fact that this is sort of minimal HUD and also minimal map. So I'm down with that for sure. And the combat looks great as well. down with it. So good job from Sony making a gameplay video that really did focus on gameplay segments, long
Super
gameplay
excited,
segments.
but comes out the same day as Paper Mario, so I'm not so sure I'll be on top of that one.
And only like a month after Last of Us 2.
I won't be done The Last of Us 2 by the time it comes out.
Yeah, really.
I figure not, right?
So, but hey, maybe we'll find out. Do we know yet if PS5's backwards compatible?
It is, yeah.
See, I mean, that'll be a game that I'll play on the PS5.
I'm sure it'll be compatible with Ghost.
Just because I don't have a Pro.
Yeah.
And it looks like a game I'm going to want to play on a 4K. So,
yeah. Okay. And then let's talk about the Unreal 5 demo. So this was revealed with part of Jeff Keighley.
Wow.
Keighley's.
Hello?
I really have a problem saying Jeff Keighley.
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley's
Yeah.
Summer of Games thing.
And I believe it's pronounced Geoff.
It's Geoff.
Keighley.
Okay.
The native Canadian pronunciation.
Jeff Keighley.
Geoff.
Had the first footage of this. So Unreal 5 engine demo running on a PlayStation 5 dev kit out of the HDMI is what they said. And they revealed this as part of Summer of Games, and this was touted by a lot of people as the first footage of PlayStation 5 gameplay, even though
it wasn't a game.
It's just a demo. It's not a game. And there's no real game there.
You remember that dinosaur in the first PlayStation demo disc that was amazing and nothing ever looked like that?
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
But this engine, Unreal Engine 5, does not come out until 2021. So games that use this technology, you probably can't expect those to hit till 2022. So I still think people do need to have their expectations for the start of the next generation a little bit in check, right?
But that being said,
this thing looked great.
It was pretty.
It was very pretty. Yeah. And of course, a guy recreated it in Dreams like 2 hours later. Which, if you look at the video, it's it doesn't look as impressive, but it's a still shot of it is it's funny to see somebody put it in.
Oh man,
Dreams, like
it was nice to see the lighting system, the bounce, whatever they call it. It was nice to see that working.
The Lumen system,
yeah. It was nice to see that working.
Yeah,
because that's going to be one of the big things next gen, right? Is the lighting in general.
Well, and the other thing is texture popping, right? So I mean, in this past generation, there's been a lot of games where, in sequences where they do a quick cut to another scene and you'll see the untextured polygons, then the textures come in, right? Like, that's been a thing for a little while now. So it seems like this next generation, that's going to be cut down immensely, or even
nitro burning texture popping funny cars.
That's right.
Oh yeah, the PS5's got it in spades.
So that's not going to be a thing in the next gen. So that's
weird.
Good news.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's not a game, even though it looked like Tomb Raider and Cameo and what other games? Breath of the Wild or whatever, like
Brownie
all
Brown
these video games
in the brown land of brown.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of brown in that demo.
There was a lot of brown, not a whole lot of.
Listen, okay, man, you're making a video game. You have infinite possibilities. You can create worlds the likes of which nobody has ever seen before.
Yeah.
Here's a bunch of brown rocks. Look at the way the light bounces off these brown rocks. Great.
And
thank you.
These particular brown rocks were once movie assets that were directly imported into the engine. It's like, okay.
Maybe you don't understand. These brown rocks have a lot of triangles hidden in them. So
true.
Brown?
I actually found watching the Digital Foundry videos to be very informative, because they
don't know anything about this stuff.
I don't know anything about it. You could have told me that this has garage shading and I would have believed it. But
I believe it's called bump mapping.
Bump mapping.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think
Uh-huh.
now we should just move right ahead to what you've been playing, because we've been talking about news and other stuff for a while.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start us off here. Played Tetris 99 this week because there was an Animal Crossing
I have not done that yet.
event this weekend where you can get an Animal Crossing theme.
I am so frustrated. I forgot about the Ring Fit Adventure theme they had a couple weeks ago. So
that was a few weeks ago.
I missed out on that. I don't have the ring. I mean, again, we've talked about this every time there's been a new theme for Tetris 99.
Yeah.
These new themes are great and fun and all.
Yeah.
But they already gave us the Game Boy one.
And
that's
the only one that matters.
The only one that matters.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
any of these are just bonuses, but I still feel bad that I missed out on the Ring Fit one.
That's right. You did.
But I did make sure I got the Animal Crossing one.
Yeah.
I have not done that yet.
Better hurry.
Yeah. You only have a couple hours at this point.
Yeah,
Not
really.
doing it then.
To get your 100 points. It's not that hard. It only takes a couple games.
Depends on how good you are.
I guess that's
Yeah,
true.
it'll
It does
take me more than a
depend.
couple games.
It does depend on how good you are.
Just finish first and you'll boom.
The highest I got was 11th.
Don't
But
you
I
get
hear you got like 4th, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I tweeted it.
I
tweeted
saw
out
that.
a picture
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the highest I've ever gotten.
Nice.
And it's also the best I've ever done in Tetris 99. Was
drug humor.
but yeah, I got 4th, which is that's the best I've ever done in Tetris 99. So
Yeah.
slowly working my way up. I am pretty good at Tetris. I know people who are significantly better than I am.
Same here. Just about everybody.
My pal Justin, who I work with and do the occasional toy podcast with, he's really like he finishes first place on the regular.
Okay.
And then a guy named Daniel, who does the Tardy to the Party podcast with my pal Bill Mudron. He's also really damn good at Tetris. But I'm not quite that good, but I'm not bad.
Okay.
I'm not bad. I pretty regularly get in the top 20.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know. But you got your theme?
Got my theme.
Good.
So
As did
I'm
I.
happy about that. I also missed the Ring Fit
Yeah.
one, but
it's a bummer.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, whatever.
Hopefully they'll
Recycle them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I also played Moving Out.
Moving
So
Out.
this is one of those games where it's a couch co-op game where you're movers and you have to get everything into the truck a certain time limit by a certain time limit. It's
Yeah.
sort of like an Overcooked style game, but with instead of cooking, it's movers. So you have to coordinate some of the items in the house. Will take 2 players to actually move. There are things that can be broken and whatnot. So this is a game that's on Game Pass on Xbox. So
Yeah.
we downloaded it on the Xbox One, and I played it with my wife and my daughter.
Nice.
And we've been having quite a blast with it. We've been playing it at night, like before bedtime, and it's been fun. Like the levels are not only houses. There's one like sort of very obviously Frogger inspired levels.
Yeah.
Or for the Chillins, Crossy Road.
Oh yeah.
You might be familiar with, but
I've
so
played
yeah,
Crossy
you have to take the items like across a road and
Mm-hmm.
also like a river that has logs and an alligator in it.
Mm.
So yeah, quite fun. Yeah, and you have to coordinate with your team. Obviously, like I would. We mostly gave Charlotte the stuff that one person could move, while I took on the team stuff with my wife.
Yeah.
And we tag teamed it and threw stuff out the window and got it in the truck. And yeah, it's a good time for sure.
Wow.
And free on Xbox if you're a member of Game Pass. So it does not have online play, unfortunately. It is a couch co-op
I
only
didn't
game.
realize it was on Game Pass. I'm gonna go play it.
Yes, as well you should. You should give it a shot. It's highly worth it. And really funny writing as well. So my daughter, since she watches a lot of streamers, she would narrate the in-game dialogue to us, which is a lot of fun.
Izzy does that too. I mean, she can't read, I think, fast enough for a lot of that. But when she plays Minecraft, she has a running commentary that she,
Oh, really?
though she's doing a YouTube video.
Oh,
Yeah.
funny.
It's pretty cute.
Charlotte does that as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. After many years, I finally own Grand Theft Auto 5, and it only took it being completely free for me.
How much you pay for the? Yeah, I was gonna say. I think you got it on the same day I did.
I think I probably did.
Do you like the Grand Theft Auto games?
No.
Okay.
Well, okay. Chinatown Wars is fun.
Yeah, but it's an anomaly. It doesn't really play like the proper
right.
current series. But
yeah, I mean, I actually enjoyed the series when it was the top down sort of thing it was back in the day.
Wars.
Right. Yeah, Chinatown Wars.
Just saying, because Grand Theft Auto 5, the single player game, really good.
Oh, yeah?
Is it really? Okay.
I loved it. I couldn't put it down.
See, I have always been able to put. I've always been able to put a Grand Theft Auto game down.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm just saying, if you, that's why I was asking, because if you do enjoy those games,
yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 5 is really good. You don't have to play it multiplayer for it to be a lot of fun. But
well, even the multiplayer stuff,
4.
like they've had events that I've been curious about that I haven't tried since I don't have the game.
Right.
But now that I have the game, maybe I'll get into some of those. So.
Yeah, I would play the Grand Theft Auto games for a few hours and then kind of get bored with them and then just turn on cheat codes and run around and just cause chaos.
Oh yeah. Isn't that what Grand Theft Auto Online is?
I don't know. I have no idea.
A lot of that is. Yeah.
But yeah, I did the same thing because it's did you mention where it's free?
I guess we didn't say that. It's free on the Epic Game Store.
Yeah, the Epic Game Store. I'm giving it away for free. And probably most people listening to this show know that. But I did download it. I have to do some configuring of my computer though. Because I just started running it, with all its default settings, and
not so much.
Well, it was going fine. It was running fine until I got to a car and I'm driving around, and just the environment couldn't keep up with the speed at which I was moving, because I'd be on a road and suddenly there would just be a road and nothing on the sides. Nothing ahead of me. And then all of a sudden I would crash and then everything would pop in, and it turns out, oh wait, the road turned and I just ran into a building that was invisible. And so I need to tinker with the settings if I'm going to actually continue. But also, I don't really care that much, so I may not actually bother trying to configure my system.
But Rockstar did figure out a way to get me to download.
Yeah, give it to you for free.
Add it to my account anyway.
Just you know what? Give me Bully 2. That's all I want.
Bully 2. Yeah. What do you think we'll see Grand Theft Auto 6 first, or
probably before Bully 2?
Oh yeah,
or before they do something different?
Yeah, probably.
Or has Grand Theft Auto Online replaced the need for Grand Theft Auto 6?
That's what I worry about, because I would really like to see a Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah.
You know what would really, Sony, PlayStation 5, I'm sure they're going to have a lot of interesting announcements, but the next Rockstar game, if that debuts with Sony,
does Rockstar do stuff like that anymore though?
I mean,
it seems like they've completely removed themselves from that. Yeah, but they did. But it feels like
maybe they'll bring back Agent
from that sort of thing.
Remember Agent, which was announced at the PS3 unveil? Yeah, they'll bring that back. Who knows? But GTA 5, I own it now. Great. So
and you seem excited.
There was some Predator news this week. Ilphonic is adding DLC to the game. It adds Dutch as a playable character. So Dutch, of course, is Arnold Schwarzenegger's character from the first movie.
Awesome.
Yep.
And so he's going to be DLC voiced by Schwarzenegger himself. So recently, I think Mortal Kombat announced some Schwarzenegger DLC, a Terminator thing. But Arnold's not
that's actually been out. That's been out for some time.
Okay, Arnold does not voice
No,
the
Arnold.
Terminator in that.
No,
to sound like, but in Predator they got the real deal. So
pretty cool.
Pretty interesting. Yeah, you get Dutch skin plus his weapons as well. So
Yeah,
that comes out later this month. I think the 26th.
Watched that film last week.
I need to watch the original
movie.
Predator again.
Oh my god,
and
so good.
The game's been pretty fun as well. So
I'm right here. Kill me now.
And then I watched Predator 2.
Ooh.
Because it was saying on Twitter, it was like, I just finished watching Predator, and I was like, you know, this is one of the greatest monster movies ever. You know,
yeah.
And people said like Alien is right there too. It's like, yep, Terminator, absolutely, the originals. And then someone said, and Predator 2 gets a lot of hate that it doesn't deserve. And I was like, okay. I went back and watched Predator 2. It's not very good.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's just not very good.
Well, no, it's not. It never was.
No.
Yeah. There's a reason why nobody.
I mean,
there's a reason why there wasn't a
not the worst
Predator
movie
3
ever.
for
well, they've
many,
made other
many
Predator
years.
movies.
Yeah, but what was the gap between Predator 2 and Predators? Plural?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Long gap.
Predator
Long gap.
2 kind of killed that franchise.
Yeah. And anyway, yeah, that's what I've been playing. I've been doing some streams now on Twitch.
Yeah.
I changed my username because Stewie said I don't want to box myself into only streaming Sea of Thieves. So now I'm SuperPack77 on Twitch. So I've streamed Sea of Thieves and Dauntless.
See, it's
as
already
well.
paying
So
off.
already paying off there. Not just doing Sea of Thieves, but yeah, I'll probably do some streaming whenever I'm playing something. I'll probably just pop it on since it's easy enough to do.
Go.
Yeah. So twitch.tv/superpack77 for that. And with that, Greg, what have you been playing?
I don't know.
Stuff.
I this week for the donor demand Thursday, I actually really Wanted. Do you remember the movie Wanted?
No.
With you know, what's her name in it?
That's Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie. Yes.
And who else is in that? Is that the one where she's
not McAvoy?
yeah, Xavier, the
guy
who plays young Xavier.
Yeah.
James McAvoy.
Is it McAvoy?
I think so, right? James McAvoy?
I don't know.
I think.
Possibly.
Anyway,
I didn't even realize this was a movie game until I watched your stream.
It was the movie where they could bend bullets. That was the big thing. They were
James McElroy?
Not McElroy.
The McElroy brothers.
No.
That is. No, The Trolls 2 is the movie that they're in.
James McGillicuddy?
That's it. Anyway,
yeah,
it was the movie where they could bend. They were assassins. They could bend bullets.
Yeah.
They could shoot bullets around, not around corners, but
yeah, they could. Yeah, they
Bullet
could bend
Time, the movie.
Bullet Time, the movie. No, they didn't use a lot of bullet time actually. I'd never seen it, but I remember I've owned the game since it came out, and I remember the reason I have
James
it now
McAvoy.
It is McAvoy. Okay.
McAvoy.
I've owned
Really
the game since it came out, but never really played it. And I remember as I was playing it, I remember why I owned it. And that's because I remember watching, I think it was a Game Trailers review, where it kind of seemed like the game was way better than it had any business being.
Yeah.
You know, not that it was a bad movie. I went back and actually watched the movie. The movie's on Netflix up here in Canada.
Oh.
It's not a bad movie. It's very much on the coattails of Fight Club and The Matrix.
Right. Chris
You know
Pratt
what I mean?
is in it.
Yes, Chris Pratt is in it.
He has a
He's the best
small
friend.
role.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really? Huh.
Yep.
I believe he gets hit in the face with a keyboard. If
He
I saw that movie once and I remember very little about it.
Yeah, it's very much like Fight Club in a lot of ways. Like, it's got that same attitude, and it's using a lot of the same sort of tricks and shots, and like when he gets hit with the keyboard, and of course it shatters and everything slows down, and the keys for "fuck you" come flying at the screen, and you know, like that sort of thing. Still a fun movie though. It was sort of like check your brain at the door, kind of fun flick. And I wasn't really sure what to think of the game, and it's just a cover shooter. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like they focused on doing just that and nothing else.
Quick time events too.
And they added in quick time events, but they were fun. And then they give you obviously the ability to bend bullets when you fire them. And I'm really enjoying it. Like I was surprised how much I was enjoying it. Actually, when it
Really?
started out, I wasn't too much because it was literally just a very, very run-of-the-mill cover shooter where it's M-rated, so they're cursing a lot and there's lots of gore, and it's like, okay, this feels, and then as they started introducing things like the quick time events were good, and the sniping and bending bullets, and you can actually slow down time a little bit, which when you actually go watch the movie all fits the character. Like that is actually what he learns to do in the movie, including like kind of slowing down time. He speeds up.
Okay.
Kind of the whole point. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. It was really, I actually recommend it if like you're into sort of a third person shooter, not having to have ever seen the movie. You don't need to see the movie to know what's going on, but if you can find that cheap, I would recommend playing it. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. The other thing that I played,
2009.
yeah,
and while I was watching, I was
years ago.
amazed at just the motion blur and bloom lighting. Like it's got all of those little trends of like that PS3, Xbox 360 generation where it's like, this looked great back then, but now it's like, oh.
And but I liked what they were doing with like the levels. Like you were watching, CJ, at one point you're in a plane and you get to the point that the plane actually starts to crash, and while it's plummeting to the earth, you're basically climbing your way up to the tail of the plane and
very large
shooting
plane.
the guys that are shooting at you. And actually, if you watch the movie, that's taken right out of the movie, but in the movie it's a train that falls off a bridge and you're climbing up one of the train cars. But yeah,
that was a cool sequence. Yeah,
it was. And I remember, because that was after I'd been playing it for about an hour, and I remember saying like, I am really enjoying this. Like way more than I expected to, and way more than I feel like I probably should have. But I was just really, it was very bubblegum action.
Now, what would that plane sequence look like if it was in Unreal Engine 5? Have lighting all over the place. Great.
I don't know.
Plane would be brown.
I know that.
Plane would be brown.
Yeah, the whole game was brown anyway.
That's true. It was very brown.
Well, that's 2009 after all.
Yeah.
So the other game that I played, and I only played this for a couple hours today because people have been, when the Panzer Dragoon remake came out, I streamed it the first night that it came out on my channel, and after playing it for about 45 minutes, I really, really, really didn't like it. And I popped in the original game on my Saturn and played that immediately after, and it's like, yeah, I'm not crazy. This game was better than this. The 95 game was way better than this. And I remember coming on the show here and talking about a lot of that and really, really tearing the game apart. Anyway, they're on version 1.3 now. There was a patch that was fairly big, added a lot of things, added like an episode 0, which I think is like an endless mode, and they updated Pandora's box when you finish it. But they actually they added the original soundtrack, which was nice because that's a classic soundtrack. But they addressed the reticle, which was one of my biggest problems. I remember before saying that the reticle feels like it's meant for like a mobile game where it's overlays everything. It's on top of your dragon. It's on top of everything. They call it the classic reticle, but it is like the old game where the reticle is actually a 3D object that's cast into the screen behind your dragon and will go behind items and obstacles and everything that are in the game world. And what the other thing they've done, which I it's probably in the build notes somewhere for 1.3, is they've made lock on much more snappy and much less precise. So you don't have to be right on top of everything. So and it's like the old Panzer Dragoon. If you remember anyone who plays that, like if you have a group of enemies and you would like sweep your cursor over them, you'd lock on to 5 things without even trying, right? You just would. You wouldn't necessarily get everything, but it plays like that now. 1.3 makes it a very enjoyable game. It's amazing the difference. Actually, it doesn't feel like the same game anymore. It feels way closer to the old Saturn game. So yeah, I mean, as I'm playing it, I was just like, the boss fights make much more sense. They're much easier now. They're not frustrating anymore because, again, with the old system, it was hard to lock on to anything while you were trying to avoid attacks. It was hard to shoot down, and the boss fights are built around shooting down projectiles, but you had to be so precise originally, and everything moves. There was like a lag to everything. It just moves so slow, and it just made it really, really not fun. And now it doesn't feel exactly like the old game, but it feels really good. Like they did a fantastic job. So anyone because I know there were a few people on my Twitter feed who were saying like, I actually, after I watched you play it, or listened to you on Player One Podcast, I held off on buying it because of how much you really didn't like it. So now wholeheartedly recommend it. They did a fantastic job fixing it. So good work on their part. Thank goodness they did that, because Panzer Dragoon Zwei is in the offing. They're supposed to be doing a remake on that too. So it's great that they clearly listened to what people were saying. And from playing this now, it seems like they do get what made the first game so playable. I don't know if they also did originally, and the game just didn't get to that stage before it was pushed out the door, which happens all the time.
Sure.
Having worked in video games, they don't always feel the way you want them to feel when they're done. But either way, the fact that they put in the work to make it so much more playable and make it feel like it should gives me major hope for any other remakes they're doing. So really,
and they still haven't put it out on the other platforms yet, right? So it's still on the Switch exclusively, as far as I know. So
So yeah, I highly recommend that now. And I'm so happy that they did that, because they didn't have to, right? They could have just pushed it out the door and forgotten about it.
Right.
So yep, but that's what I've been playing.
Cool. Phil.
Yeah.
What do you got for us?
Well, the same stuff we've already talked about. Played a little more.
We haven't talked about Animal Crossing.
Yeah, but I mean, what's there to talk about at this point?
I had my birthday celebration in Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah, what happened?
Right.
That was it. Would you?
I guess that's spoiler. That's really? Oh, a lot happens.
It's quite an event.
Oh man, well maybe I don't want to know.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to tell you, just because every time I thought it was over, it was still going.
My goodness. Okay.
All right. Wow.
Like it's to the point that I took a bunch of screenshots while it was happening, and I haven't posted them because I don't want to ruin it for other people.
Right.
Yeah.
So play Animal Crossing on your birthday is the message.
Absolutely play Animal Crossing on your birthday.
Okay. That's great.
Although, I will say one thing which made me extremely happy. I got a birthday letter from my daughter in the game.
Oh,
happy birthday. I love you, Daddy. And she sent a little present, and she was bugging me to play Animal Crossing on my birthday, because Daddy, you gotta play, and she had to sit and watch me, and it was really
that's amazing.
Nice. So, nice. Yeah. But then she was watching too, and she was like, thank you. And she was just like, she was really amazed by everything that was going on. They really go all out in the game, way more than I expected.
Man. That's cool.
Yeah. I kind of expected like the characters to say happy birthday, and maybe you get a message from Mom or something.
Right.
It's more than that.
Okay. Well, in several months, I will see for myself.
Yeah.
I've got a couple weeks here.
I'm sure you'll probably have it spoiled for you, but not by me.
Good. I see Zelda's biggest fan in the chat is wanting to know if I've gotten back in the Doom Eternal. I have not
Doom
yet.
Eternal.
I have not started playing Doom Eternal again.
Doom Eternal.
Just because it's kind of daunting. Just because those stages, take like an hour or two to get through. Just sitting down and doing it. And it's one of those things I don't want to play during the day when my kid is up. And then when nighttime rolls around, it's like, I'd rather
spend some time with your wife.
Exactly. Yes. Me and Dana want to have dinner and maybe watch TV or a movie or something. And it's, I don't want to be like, hey, hon, sit and watch me play Doom for 2 hours so I can get through a level.
So we got Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima coming out.
Yeah.
Those are pretty gory games.
Yeah.
That you're also not going to be able to play during the day.
But are those games that you would normally play with Dana?
Yeah, I mean, like she would certainly be more interested in watching me play through Last of Us 2 than
that's true.
Doom Eternal, which it's not saying anything about Doom, because Doom is great and fun, but it's not, there's not a terribly interesting story attached to it. It's just it's shooty, rip and tear. So, but at some point, I'll get back to it. I'll work my way through it at some point, and just other crap has been coming out, and Animal Crossing, of course, has been eating up time as well.
I still see so many people on my friends list playing Animal Crossing at any time. Like, people have not bounced off that yet.
Yeah, no, people are still loving it.
It's great.
You know what I realized?
Mm.
I don't like the stock market.
I don't even bother with it.
I have dropped from the stock market.
I don't like it.
4 million in the bank.
It involves, and I don't. I have maybe about 800,000 bells in the bank at the moment, and I still, I only have 2 of my extra rooms at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, but that introduces an element of stress into that game that I do not like, because I don't want to. I mean, I could have, bought $800,000 worth of turnips today.
Yeah.
And then I would have literally spent all this upcoming week freaking out about finding some, either getting lucky and having, them buy it in my village for
makes it more of a job than I want it to be.
Well, that's just it.
That's it. Yeah.
And I mean, that game is already a job.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going in and you're doing your chores every day. But this just adds like a gambling element, dark patterns,
patterns
that I, because then it turns into like, it's like I'm checking in the morning and I'm checking at night to see how much my town is buying them for, and I'm constantly popping on Twitter like, did CJ post anything about his turnip prices?
Right.
I mean, like the last time I did it, I just happened to, like, I was getting ready to go to bed, and I happened to just I'll check Twitter before I go to before I shut everything down, and like John Riccardi over in Tokyo had just, he's like just getting up, and he's posting like, oh, hey, we're buying turnips for 500 bells or whatever, if you want to come over. And I was like, oh crap, I guess I'm staying up for another 15-20 minutes so I can go over to Johnstown, which I did. But I was just like, I don't want to deal with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do I really need?
I used it so that I could pay off Nook,
right. Yeah.
And now I'm not doing it anymore. I don't need to.
And that's just it. And it's
I don't
like
need the bells.
It's like, well, what do you? Congratulations, you beat the game. I mean, did you fully upgrade your house?
Yes.
So your house is fully upgraded.
Fully upgraded.
And you're still sitting on 4 million bells.
Still sitting on 4 mil.
So congratulations, you won, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, sure, there's gonna be like items and stuff you want to get to decorate or whatever, but it's like, right. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't need this kind of stress in Animal Crossing. And like, and I've seen people.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah. And I hope this doesn't come across as me like,
you're not bagging on the game.
Like I'm not bagging on the game. I'm not bagging on you for having done it. But it's just like, I've seen people on like Twitter and stuff kind of complaining about like, oh man, this game is stressing me out. And people are getting that whole like fear of missing out because they're not time traveling. And
just like with anything Animal Crossing, you don't need to do any of it.
I know, but
it's self-inflicted if you buy the turnips.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't do it.
Which is why I decided to stop. So it's it's fine. I'll let everyone else can play the stock market. I'm content to just earn my bells the slow way.
Yeah.
Nothing
wrong with that.
Yeah. But yes, I've just been playing that. Played a little bit of Tetris. I've been playing some more Space Invaders on Switch, which is loads of fun. Finn's really interested in Space Invaders Extreme.
Cool.
Just because he
did you talk about that game on the show?
I talked about it last week.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, I talked about it last.
I don't think you did, because I did the show notes and I don't think I
Greg,
linked
did I not talk about this, Greg?
You talked about ordering it. I don't know if
you talked about ordering
playing it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, but I bought it digitally, so it's not like
I believe when I was buying my core graphics, you were talking about buying the credit to buy Space
Oh,
Invaders
okay.
Extreme.
Well,
So,
okay.
you
So
have not talked about it on the show.
So I bought it, I guess that's the end of that story. I bought some
There you go.
some Nintendo Japan eShop credit and used that to buy Space Invaders Invincible collection. What is it called?
Really? Huh.
Space Invaders. Yeah, Space Invaders Invincible collection is the name of this collection. It's only out in Japan. There's a physical version, but I bought the digital version.
Okay.
And yeah, it comes with a handful of old Space Invader games. You get the original arcade. You get the color version of the original arcade. You get Space Invaders Part 2, which is very similar to the original Space Invaders game because that one's from like 1979 or something. And then you get Space Invaders, Super Space Invaders 91, I want to say, which is
the Genesis game.
I think it was released on Genesis. This is the arcade version of it.
Okay.
But yeah, I believe that was the one that came out on the Genesis. You get what is it? Majestic 12, which is just that Super Space Invaders, but I think that's the like Japanese version of it, I believe. But the reason I bought it is oh yeah, here's I have a list now. Space Invaders original and color, Space Invaders Part 2, Super Space Invaders 91, which is also known as Majestic 12. Space Invaders Gigamax 4 SE.
Whoa.
Which is I believe a more recent arcade game. It's a 4-player Space Invaders.
Okay.
It's set up it's very much like the original Space Invaders, kind of a no frills kind of thing, but the screen is super wide and it's 4-player simultaneous where you're all
I've heard that's
cool.
more of an oddity than anything that's any fun to play.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things like they would have a giant screen at like Dave and Buster's or something,
right?
Where it's like kind of let's go play giant 4-player Space Invaders. I mainly bought it for Space Invaders Extreme.
Yeah.
And it's the which came out on DS originally, and it's also on Steam as well.
It's on PSP as well.
PSP.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's on PSP as well.
I have it.
Yes. So you have that, and then there is a bonus game. If you buy it digitally, you may be I think if you get the physical, maybe there's the download code for Arkanoid versus Space Invaders, which was a mobile game that came out a couple years ago. And they ported it to Switch, and you can only play it in handheld mode because it's all touchscreen controls, and it's vertical orientation because again, smartphone game.
Sure.
And that's actually that's a really fun game because it's it's Arkanoid. You're controlling the little Arkanoid Vaus, which is the in-universe name for the paddle. But you have there's blocks that you're trying to clear out like an Arkanoid, but there are also the little aliens that are shooting down at you, and you have to reflect the aliens' shots back up to destroy the blocks and kill the aliens and stuff like that.
Okay,
so
that's cool.
So it's a fun little game as well. So those were the two main reasons I bought it, and it was really expensive because Japanese Switch games. I mean, I realized this when I was over in Japan last year.
The American Saturn games of Switch games.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's like every game is like $60. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like games that would normally be like, like if they released that Space Invaders collection over here,
they couldn't sell it for $60.
Probably $30,
or at most,
$30.
Yeah.
But no, that was like 5,700 yen or something, which comes out to like $54 or something like that.
Right.
But I bought it because
Yeah, what else are you gonna do with your money right now?
exactly.
Pay Tom Nook? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been playing that a fair bit, and Finn's really getting into Space Invaders Extreme just because it's it's cool and it's flashy and it's got really awesome music and stuff like that. So he's been having fun watching me play that.
Cool.
And it was funny because I was playing a bit yesterday, I think, and he was really getting into Extreme, and I was like, "Oh, Finn, have you ever seen the original Space Invaders?" He's like, "No, I haven't." I was like, "Well, here, let me load this up." 78, I want to say, first original Space Invaders.
Yep.
So I was like, "Yeah, this was like
not all that impressive."
I was like 3 when this game came out, and I start playing it, and he's just like, "Is this it?" I'm like,
yeah, this is a game.
And he's my kids anytime I show them something like that.
And he's actually normally pretty accepting of old games. Like I'll show him like NES stuff.
That's really old. Like I find
that's
like I can
just it.
that's the same here. Like I can show my kids like Mega Man.
Right.
And they go, oh, that's cool. It still looks old, and but if I show them like Dodge 'em on the 2600,
right, they're like, what is
not
this crap?
even. Yeah, I mean it's just so old looking.
Well, that's just it too, because the other day, again yesterday, I loaded up Mega Man 2. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna play some Mega Man. And Finn was just like, he got really excited. He was like, oh man, I gotta watch you play Mega Man. And we played some Mega Man 2, and he was really super into it.
Yeah.
And even like remember that Wonder Boy game that came out where you could switch back and forth between
Dragon's Trap.
Yeah, it was Dragon Trap, where you could switch. You had like the nice modern graphics, so you could switch back to the Master System stuff. Yep. And even then, he was like, when I was showing him the difference, he was like, "Oh, can you leave it the old way for a while, just because I think it looks cool."
Yeah.
And
but it was such a generational leap from like the 70s to the mid 80s.
Yeah,
that's very true.
And this, he was like, "Wow, there's not even any music," and I'm like, "Yeah, this is what it's." And he's like, "Why did people like this?"
It's so funny because I look at that stuff, and I mean, I don't have a lot of nostalgia for something like Space Invaders because I mean, I played it in arcades when I was really little, but that wasn't what I went to arcades for. Because by the time I was going to arcades, there were better games to play.
Of course,
yes.
But I look at it, and it's the same thing when I look at, say, like Pac-Man on the 2600. When I look at Pac-Man on the 2600, I'm always so fascinated by the fact that, like, if you remember playing it on an old CRT, how they flashed the ghost sprite all over the screen.
Yep.
And then you just use the CRT like fade to sort of keep the ghost image there while it was flashing it every other frame.
Yep.
That stuff fascinates me. And then you look at something like Space Invaders, where like how they speed up as you get near the end, as you kill them, and it has nothing to do with it being programmed that way. It has everything to do with the fact that the CPU can move faster, can update the screen faster because there are fewer items to update.
That's
it's like, and to me that's amazing. But I'll I put something like that on, and I try explaining that to the kids, and they're like, I don't care. And why should you care? I don't know why you should care either. But I think it's amazing. Like,
it's like, as I'm explaining to him, it was like the jump to Space Invaders from video games not existing.
Yeah. Right.
Is it's hard to kind of put your mind in that mindset, but because video games are so omnipresent now, and they're such a huge part of his life. Growing up with 2 parents who are in the video game industry,
and you don't need to rely entirely on your imagination to
but
they're
it's
not
like
that nearly as abstract as they were 40 or 50 years ago,
when there was no such thing as video games. To suddenly have Space Invaders was an amazingly huge leap. Of course we were all fascinated by it back then, but obviously technology moved very quickly back then,
and then don't even get me started on Dragon's Lair.
Oh, geez, forget it.
I remember the first time I saw that game.
Walking into Showbiz Pizza.
Game. Yeah.
That's where I first saw it, was Showbiz Pizza.
Holden actually asked about that game today. I remember.
Oh, yeah?
Because I had something going. I was playing a game on the Sega CD, and there was a little bit of video, and he said, why don't they make more games where it's like more like, he said, didn't say video, it was like real life. And what he meant was video.
Right.
And we kind of talked about that for a little bit. And he says, like, I remember there
do.
was this one game where you just would push the direction and it was about a guy fighting a dragon. And it was like, yeah, Dragon Slayer.
Yep.
And so I popped it up. I actually showed him the Sega CD version, which was not impressive at all.
Of course, yeah.
And but I was like, that game's from 1982. And he was just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you think you're impressed. Holy crap. Walking into an arcade surrounded by Pac-Man and Space Invaders.
Yeah,
and
you're
saw
going in
that.
You're going in
Right.
expecting to play a game of Cubert, and suddenly you have this cartoon staring at you in the face.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
My God.
It was mind blowing.
Yeah.
And we didn't even like really crap on the gameplay. I mean, it's easy
No. Why
today to
would
just
you?
be like, oh, it's
Yeah.
just quick time events. But at that time, man, video games were not as defined as they are. So,
Right.
you know,
It was
you could have
interactive. Yeah.
you could have a just press the thing at one time and it's like, okay, that's what this video game plays like.
People need to remember, like Dragon Slayer, it was credited with saving the arcade industry for about a year there,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it fell apart anyway. But
of course.
because
yeah.
people stopped playing it. But you know, I mean, it was
Yeah.
the next big thing,
It's very
and,
true.
and it proved to be true. Like it
Yeah.
made a lot of money for a lot of people.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been playing a bit of the Space Invaders. I mentioned this on Twitter the other day where, and Greg, you alluded to it a bit ago. When I got my TurboGrafx, I realized how many of those little
Mhm.
mini consoles I have.
Yeah.
And I finally I did a big rewiring last night. I unplugged, just went through my entertainment center and just, you know, took everything apart and rebuilt it back up. Because
That's kind of fun in a way.
yeah, I know it is. I mean, it's a pain. It's such a pain in the ass, but at the
Yeah,
same
but
time,
when
it's
you're
kind of
done,
like,
it's like,
oh,
yeah.
oh, look what I just did.
Yeah.
But because I was been getting all these little mini consoles, and it was like, you know, I don't have to say I have an entertainment center is it's overselling it. I have
Generous.
I have a TV stand.
Mm,
I have a
yeah.
TV stand with like 2 shelves on it, and like on the first shelf is like my TV's on the top shelf, of course. The shelf right underneath has my Switch and my PS4, and then the shelf underneath it has my Xbox One.
Okay.
And it had like, you know, my little mini NES and SNES and Genesis and stuff. And as I've been getting more and more of these little mini consoles, I just couldn't be bothered to actually go through and hook them all up and get behind the TV and rewire everything. So I was just kind of just tossing them under there.
Mhm.
And I started to realize it's like, man, I've not been playing these. These are amazing. I love these little mini consoles, but I've barely been touching them just because they're all kind of disorganized and it's just a mess of cables and I have to keep unplugging and replugging stuff in. And just it's you know, not worth getting up off the couch to start fiddling with stuff just because I want to play Mega Man 2 for a few minutes, you know.
Right.
So I finally broke down and I went on Amazon and bought like just some cheapo little shelves, because I just like, I want just a narrow little shelving unit that I can just have these
That's a
mini
good idea.
consoles on. Yeah, and I mean it's cheap. It is a cheapo little. It's particle board and plastic. But
Well, I mean, with those little consoles, it's not like you have to worry about the shelves sagging or anything.
yeah,
like
well
that.
that's yeah, because I mean
There you go.
they weigh
Yeah.
nothing. But I was concerned at first about like HDMI inputs, and then I realized I was like,
Mm.
oh wait, I actually invested in, and it's tucked behind the TV, so I don't
Switcher?
even think about it. I have like a 7-to-1 HDMI splitter that I bought ages
okay.
ago, and then I have another one that's like a 5-to-1. So I have ample HDMI ports for my TV right
Sure.
now. So, but yeah, during my big reconstruction effort last night, I now have all my little. I have 7 of them now. I have
Awesome.
seven.
I was
mini
just
consoles.
thinking, I'll have 8.
Really?
soon because the Neogeo Mini was on sale for like $30.
Oh, I was gonna get one of those, and they were sold out by the time I clicked the link.
Yeah, no, a friend of mine down in, I think he's in New Hampshire. He picked
Okay,
one up for me and shipped
nice.
it. So yeah,
Nice. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I've heard because someone, I forget who, someone hit me up on Twitter about that. Like, hey, have you got one of these? And I haven't, because it looks like a little arcade machine. And it
Yeah.
has a little screen, and you can actually
Yeah.
play it.
apparently it's not the
Independently.
greatest, but for $30, I didn't want to.
But well, you know what I've heard? Everything like reviews I've read of it say that like if you're playing it in like tabletop mode, it looks fine. But I guess when you plug it into your TV, I guess there's some filters and stuff that you can't
Yes.
turn off.
Yep.
That kind of make it look.
I wonder
a
if it's been
little
cracked
ugly.
though or hacked. I mean,
Oh, maybe.
probably has been at this point.
Maybe, yeah. But I mean, if I can get one of those for $30, I'll probably crack and get
That's
it.
just it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, for $30, it's like,
Yeah.
I just want to have it.
Yeah. But yeah, because I got the NES, the SNES, the Genesis, the Turbo, the PC Engine, the PlayStation, and the Commodore 64.
Commodore 64.
Yeah. So, which I bought in Canada. Thank you very much.
They were
That
cheap up here.
They were. That's
Yeah.
the when I went up there to get those Slurpee cups.
Yeah.
I found one at EB Games. Is that what you guys have up there
Yeah.
now? Yeah.
For like $5 American.
Yeah, it was like $20 American, I think. Yeah, it was pretty cheap. But yeah, so now I have them finally all hooked up, which is really nice. So it's just a matter of flipping the switch and sitting back on the couch and playing some retro games, which is I'm very
Nice.
happy about. So because yeah,
Very
I do
nice.
love those little machines. But yeah, that's about it. Oh, you know what? I'll point this out too. I ran over to my storage unit today to put some crap in there. I've been kind of picking up a few things, but I can't make a trip to my storage unit without bringing
Going to
something
Target.
back.
Oh,
Well, no. I mean, I did go to Target, but
Uh-huh.
we needed garbage bags. We needed garbage bags. And boy, I'll tell you this too. The Target has a sign out front. We're not letting anyone in without masks.
Right. I was at Target today as well.
That's a dangerous sign to put up.
But apparently they're letting people in without masks.
Yeah, because nobody wants to
Oh.
get shot.
Yeah.
The one that I was at in Woodinville
Yeah.
today
Yeah.
had the
I
same
know that one.
had the same sign,
Right.
and everybody I saw had a mask.
Yeah. For
including
some
me.
reason, they had like a couple, security people. I mean, not cops or anything, but security people standing at the entrance watching people come in. But like, woman walks in right in front of me, no mask.
Ah,
Nope. Nobody said anything. Nobody cares.
They eased restrictions a little bit this
Yeah.
weekend, and there's already photos flooding the local like Facebook groups and stuff of tourist traps that are just overflowing with people.
Yeah,
no one
no
wearing
thanks.
a mask, no one being distant,
thanks.
nothing.
No,
thank
thanks.
you.
See, this is why. Yeah, I mean,
This is why
we
we can't
probably
have nice
were to
things.
the point where we could ease restrictions safely,
Yeah.
but I knew nobody would listen.
Well, no,
So I haven't left the property like
Yeah, it's all or
for
nothing.
3 days.
It is all or
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
So, but in my storage unit, I was flipping through. Last week we talked on the show. Someone had tweeted at us about that Battle Kid game.
yeah.
Mhm.
I do still have my Battle Kid. It is.
There you go.
I do have a few NES games still that I did not sell. Some of them are nostalgic favorites that I won't sell, the Mega Mans and the Marios and stuff like that. But I do still have my Battle Kid. I also found, look at this here, YouTubers.
Oh, nice.
This is the Konami LCD Ninja Turtle game that came out probably mid late 80s.
Yep.
I guess probably more
Late.
late 80s since it's Ninja Turtles. And the Konami handheld Gradius
Gradius,
What?
nice.
as well.
Nice.
So I gotta get some batteries for these. Hopefully they still work.
You didn't
That's
store them
cool.
with batteries in them, I hope.
What's that? No, they are empty. So I am smart enough to not keep batteries in things these days. I also dug up. Do you recognize this?
Oh,
wide boy.
wow. Those
There's a-
are worth a pretty penny.
Are they really? This is a Wide
Believe so.
Boy 64
Intelligent Systems.
Intelligent
label on the
Systems
back.
logo right there on the back.
That's how we used to capture footage for Game Boy.
The serial
Game Boy
number is a
Color.
little hard to read these days. It's faded a bit. But yeah,
Yeah.
this was it's for those not watching the YouTube channel, this basically looks like a big tall N64 cartridge with a, let's see here, you can see Greg
Greg Seward
in
face.
the and there you can
Oh,
see the
and now me.
reflection.
You can see, you
Yeah.
could see me, but not there.
There
you
you
go.
are.
Hello.
But it has a slot at the top for Game Boy color games. And
Yes.
original Game Boy works.
Original
as well.
Game Boy
Boy,
too,
Game Boy
yeah.
Color. Yep.
But yeah, you plug in a Game Boy cartridge into this, plug this into your N64, boom, you're playing Game Boy games on your
I thought
N64.
it was strange that they never
Yeah.
released a retail version of that.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, this was solely for like
I'm assuming because it would be very expensive.
developers and press outlets.
Yeah, there's
got
like a serial
these.
port on the front there too, right? I don't know if it's a serial port,
on the
but yeah.
front. I don't know what the serial port.
I'm sure that was for dev kit stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
It's probably to run a game from your PC
Oh, yeah.
to
Yeah,
test.
yeah, exactly. And then there's some sort of like a jumper switch right in here as well.
That's cool.
Oh, and there's a port on the side.
Oh, a
for-
link cable port.
link
Multiplayer.
cable port. Yeah.
Yep.
So you could. That's how. Yeah, it's how we took screenshots of Game Boy Color games back in the day. Also,
Yes, indeed.
one last thing, CJ, you might remember this.
I have one of
I have
those.
that. I have
I
that
still
too.
have it in the box in my room.
This is, of course, the Dance Dance Revolution add-on for the Game Boy Color. This
I
is
remember.
correct.
Where did I find that? It was on when we were still in Illinois, and I
Yeah.
was on some kind of trip out to LA or San Francisco or LA, one of the two.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I was in a game store, but I was,
Yeah.
and they had, it was GB2, I think, Dance Dance GB2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to buy that just
Yeah.
for the little Dance Revolution
Yeah,
mat
it's-
that clips onto my Game Boy Color.
It's just a little plastic clip that has the little up, down,
Four
left,
directions,
right
yep.
arrows.
Yeah.
And you put it on front of your Game Boy Color. You
Snap it in place.
clip the clips on the back, and then you press
It
these
presses the
to-
buttons
presses
Yeah.
the buttons till you can simulate playing DDR on the go.
So cool.
with your fingers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Because that's what you had to do.
Well,
Yes,
I
you
have somewhere I have not only that thing, but also like a PlayStation controller. It's like a little square thing that's
Yeah.
a dance pad.
yeah,
To also do that, play the PlayStation version with
Really?
I remember
like
that.
a dance
interesting.
pad that's really just for your hands.
Yeah, it's like
I gotta look
it's
that
maybe
up.
it's maybe like 6-inch square or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think I may have one of those as well somewhere.
It wouldn't
Possible.
surprise me if you do.
Yeah, I
Possible.
have. Again, it's in my storage unit, but I have a giant, just a massive, like Rubbermaid tub
Yeah.
that is just filled to the brim with controllers
Peripherals.
and
Same.
peripherals and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same here.
And I should really go
Yeah.
through that someday and
Yeah.
see
I
what
still
is
have
in
my
there.
Dance Dance Revolution Disney version for the GameCube
yeah?
down there somewhere.
Nice.
Yep.
Wow,
Those are
Dance
good
Dance
ones.
Revolution hand controller for PlayStation 2, $197
What?
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 Canadian, 140
okay.
US.
And that
Oh.
was
That's a buy it now price. I don't know if it's worth that or not.
And Phil froze.
And it's new. It's still new in the box. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Phil's
a
Gonzo.
company too, right? Did I?
Yep.
Am I? Oh,
Froze.
geez. Now see.
You're good now.
Internet connection is unstable. Okay,
You're
I'm
good
good
now.
now. I could still hear you guys, but you stopped moving. But because what I was saying when I froze was that little handheld DDR controller that was made by like some shady
A third party. Yeah, it was a third party thing.
That was
yeah.
that was like a Kensha Hall special.
Oh,
yeah,
this one's got a Konami badge on it. This box.
Oh,
Oh.
really? Huh.
Yep.
I
it's
don't
Japanese.
recall Konami making one.
Well, it's
Yeah.
Japanese, but
I don't think the one I have was licensed
okay, so it must be something else.
in any
Same.
way, but who knows?
That's
That's it. Yeah,
Listen,
let's
before we get into tweets and everything, I just want to bring one thing up.
Sure.
This coming weekend, which is Saturday, May 23rd. I'm going to be doing a 12-hour Extra Life stream.
Oh man.
Donor request stuff. Mostly just want to get through some donor requests that have just been sort of backing up from my
Yeah.
stream. So 9 a.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. twitch.tv/Sewart. There'll be links, I'm sure, in the show notes. But yes, an extra live stream, 12 hours this coming
Okay.
weekend.
Cool.
So please be there. That's it. Just want to make sure I get
Okay.
in there.
Absolutely. I guess that means now it's time for tweets.
Tweet.
All right. Let's only do one or two. Or
Yeah, we're going long.
going way long. Let's do this one from Aurelius Benjamin Rivers, who says, let's say Nintendo releases a Game Boy app for Switch, like
Nintendo releases a Game Boy app for Switch.
like the NES and SNES ones.
Okay.
Which third-party games would you want to play the most? So third-party games.
Third-party
I'd imagine that's anything Konami.
Third-party Game
Gargoyle's
Boy
Quest.
games.
Motocross Maniacs.
Are we
Motocross Maniacs.
are we just sticking black and white?
No, just why do that?
You could do a Metal Gear Solid for the color.
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be
yeah.
great.
Be down with that?
Yep. Ghost Babel.
Ghost Babel.
Yeah, I mean, like, certainly Gargoyles Quest.
Yep. Motocross
Um,
Maniacs, CJ said.
Motocross Maniacs, yeah. I mean, the temptation is there to say the Castlevania games, but like Castlevania Adventure is not terribly good.
You gotta put Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle,
Oh,
yeah.
one of them on there,
I
right?
love the Bugs Bunny
Do
Crazy
ya?
Castle games.
Yeah.
Got to.
You know what I would put in there, although nobody
of the
else would
Gator?
probably care? Cosmo
that?
Tank. I loved
Oh,
Cosmo
yeah,
Tank.
Cosmo Tank.
Cosmo
yeah,
Tank.
yeah. Yeah, Revenge of the Gator, certainly.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Gator is really good. What else? I mean, like the what was the Contra game? Operation C.
Yep, Operation C.
Operation C was pretty good. Like the Mega Man games.
Yeah.
You know,
are-
I
are-
never liked the Mega Man games on the Game Boy.
really.
I tried to play them so many times, and I just can't get into them.
Well, they suffer from that.
Castlevania Adventure, everything's too slow.
No, it's not. It's not that they suffer from the proportion issue
Yeah.
where they try and cram NES proportions on the little screen, so you end up, your visible area is significantly reduced because you have these large NES style sprites eating up
Right.
screen real
yeah.
estate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to. I could just bust out my collection here and flip
I
through
think
'em.
we've mostly
I don't
named
think
the
we
big
need
ones,
to
though.
go through like a big list, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, most of your Konami stuff, most of your Capcom stuff, but
Yep.
that's kind of the given.
Ghostbusters 2.
Yes. Yes.
Ghostbusters 2 was
Uh,
fantastic on the Game
which
Boy.
which was a
The
HAL
Famicom
game.
Yeah.
It's developed. It's not the Activision game that
No.
came out on NES. This
Well, I
one
think
was-
Activision released it here because they had the license. Pretty sure they
Yes.
released it in the US.
Yes.
So good.
Yeah, but it is not. It is not like the NES version. It is a
Yep.
kind of a top-down.
Hmm.
You're going through like mazes and stuff. It's really darn good. Yeah. What else? I mean, like,
Bionic Commando games.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean that kind of falls into your Capcom Konami.
Hmm.
Yeah. Everything from those.
I mean, here's honestly, the hard mode is what are
Probably
the
stuff
good
from Square.
what are the
Oh
good
yeah, the
Game Boy
Final
games?
Fantasy Adventure games are good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Final Fantasy Adventure, Final Fantasy Legend. Sorry, there's only one adventure,
yeah.
which is actually the original Seiken Densetsu, which became Secret of Mana.
Oh yeah.
That was the first one.
But yeah,
All right.
I'd
Yeah,
have to
that's good.
sit
That's good.
down and go through the list, but yeah. There
All
you
right.
go.
Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Seabake76.
Hey, we know
that
him.
guy.
That guy.
Yeah. Has a baby now.
Yeah, it's
He
true.
does. Did we say
Yep.
congratulations on the show?
I think we did. Yes.
I think we did.
We did. But congratulations. to
I love
Seabake.
it. Every now and then he tweets about, like he tweeted, I think this week, about how he can make his little one laugh
Yeah.
just by making hand motions and stuff. And I love reading it because it's very much, he's very much in the throes of being a new dad, like
Right.
completely
Totally.
new dad. And
Yeah.
it's an awesome feeling. So
It is.
Oh,
Seabake says, this week marks the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back. What's your favorite Battle of Hoth in a game? And he's apparently going to do a series on his YouTube channel for called 40 Battles of Hoth.
40?
They've been 40 of them?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of Star Wars games.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, there was a game about the Battle of Hoth on the 2600.
Well, I mean, that was the first
That
Star
was
Wars
the
game.
first Star Wars game, yeah.
Very first Star Wars game.
Right.
Did the GameCube, I know the first
one of the GameCube ones has.
That was the Empire did, but any of the Rogue Squadron games have?
I'm pretty sure they did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I forget which.
Maybe both. They may have come up with an excuse to.
Well, there were 3 Rogue Squadron games.
Let's see. Oh, you know what?
They may have put an excuse to have all of them have Hoth.
I'm seeing. I just did a quick search. Kotaku, last year, did Hoth in video games.
That's a good time for it. The 39th anniversary.
Yeah. You need to talk to Stephen Totillo about this, but yeah, I mean, you got 2600, you got the arcade, the vector graphics one. There was the NES one, Super Empire Strikes Back, Rebel Assault, Shadows of the Empire. Which, hey, you want to know a secret about Shadows of the Empire? That first stage is the only good part of the game.
You know what though? Yeah, and I'm gonna say I don't know that it's the best one as far as standing out in my memory.
Oh,
Shadows of the Empire.
I mean, that was a huge.
Because I remember being so impressed by that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rogue Squadron on N64 has a Hoth battle. Rogue Leader on GameCube has one.
All right.
But yeah, then there's there's stuff like Galactic Battlegrounds, like the RTS game and stuff. Rogue Squadron 3 Rebel Strike on GameCube also did it. But that one you could ride around on a Tauntaun. And then you got
that was not a great game.
No.
I liked Rogue Squadron 2. Really loved that game a lot.
Yeah.
But did not like 3.
It might be Rogue Squadron 2.
I'm guessing if I went back and played them, that would be the one I would enjoy the most. But Shadows of the Empire for me is the one that stands out.
Yeah. I mean, Shadows of the Empire made a huge impact.
Yeah. And you're right. That's the only memorable part of that game.
Yeah. Because, I mean, that game is garbage. It is bad. It is a bad video game with one really awesome first level.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably if I were to just say of the ones that I'd want to go back and play today, probably that Rogue
Squadron
Leader.
2.
Yeah, Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2 on GameCube.
That was the game that we marathoned for the Xbox versus GameCube episode, so we could review it.
Oh,
you mean issue of EGM?
Yeah, sorry. What did I say? Episode?
Yeah,
I always do know. Hey, it's reviewable. Yeah. Cool. We're gonna sit in the games room because Ziff Davis had a great games room in Chicago and overnight, and we played till we finished it.
There it is.
Yep,
it was awesome. So good.
All right, we got a lot of other tweets here, but I think I'm gonna save them for next week because there are a lot of good ones in here that we can talk about. We'll do those next week. So thanks everybody who tweeted in. I still got them, so we'll save them for next week. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you so much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward.
Yeah, I started working on a new one. That's why I had the Sega CD out and playing it today.
Excellent. I think I know what you've been playing with that.
It's not hard to figure out what I'm going to be covering each time. It's all going in alphabetical order.
You'll also find Generation 16 episodes.
Yep. The rough edit for the new episode is, I'd say, about 65% done. Yeah. Very excited about that. It's really starting to take shape.
You remember when video game magazines used to have a % complete?
Yeah.
In the previews? That just seems like such a funny...
You look back in a lot of there was a lot of abstract crap and marks and stuff given to games, and
it seems like a funny way to quantify how done a video game is by just % complete. Anyway, Generation 16 episodes. You'll find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about during this episode. And you'll find a link to our Discord server where you, dear listener, yes, and even Phil could be talking about video games and all sorts of stuff with us and our other listeners.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting playeronepodcast.com, by loading up your favorite podcast application. You can also find us on Stitcher Radio or on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch archives of our old live shows, or indeed watch us live most weeks on the youtubes.com/P1 podcast. Follow our Twitter account at P1 podcast to find out when we are doing our next live show. Spoiler alert, it's usually about this time if you're watching, but a couple hours earlier.
Minus 2 hours.
5:30 Pacific time most weeks.
Right.
But follow our Twitter account. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything.
True.
I don't even think I don't even think we tweet out any nudie pics anymore.
What?
Did you stop doing that,
Did
CJ?
you stop tweeting, Phil?
Well, not on my personal account, not on my several secret.
Hey, that pile of mini
alt
consoles
accounts.
was pure sex, Phil.
Absolutely.
There you go.
You know what? Kudos to me, by the way, for getting all of those to balance on top of each other, especially considering the
bad.
Commodore 64 was I think the second one from the bottom, and that one's at an angle and it's got the keys
Yeah,
on it,
that's
A
so
little bit of a
not the
Jenga
greatest.
situation.
it was a balancing act, to be sure. Hey, if you like what you've heard, and how could you can head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. CJ needs a liver transplant
What?
because of
Wait,
his...
no, Phil, he doesn't know yet.
Oh
no.
Oh,
this is
well,
embarrassing.
This is really
this is how he
ouch.
finds
Oof.
out.
Mm.
It's well,
Yeah.
give, won't you? The poor
No,
poor
not
kids.
true. Not true.
The
Before you
poor kids.
Yes, CJ, keep telling yourself it's not true.
not true. Not
This
true.
is denial.
Yeah.
Cheap?
Is yeah. No. He lives in America, Greg.
Oh,
So
absolutely
not
not.
cheap.
Absolutely not cheap. No. No. Maybe where you live, but not down
CJ, I
here.
would highly suggest you get that bathtub filled up with ice.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Gonna need
Yeah.
Oh boy. No.
No,
Your
not true.
Patreon dollars help support the show, keeps the lights on, helps us paying for Zoom so we can do the live broadcast every week and all that good stuff. And if you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier, you do gain access to a special weekly bonus show after hours, where we play games, we crack wise, we do all sorts of fun stuff. And friends, if you want a taste, a mere sampling, if you want to suckle at CJ's generous teat, tune in is it Friday?
And it is
Friday,
generous.
Thursday night. Yeah.
Thursday nights on our regular show feed. CJ's posting bonus. There are post shows from like 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah.
Remember those carefree days?
I do.
Yeah. Well, you can relive them every Thursday night. Hear us do some of our old bonus shows, and again, $5 on Patreon will get you weekly new ones.
Yeah.
It's
Also
fun.
cheap.
It's fun. Also cheap. And hey, if you got a couple bucks left over, head over to generation-16.com, where you will find the Patreon link to help support Greg Stewart's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thanks, Phil. And remember that those are only per episode, not per month.
Yeah.
And if you're a $5 patron over there, you get access to the weekly video
and it is
logs
week.
about the show, and it is week, and it's no longer based on me driving my car around, which I'm starting to
Good.
get a lot of compliments about. People were preferring the sitting still in front of the standard YouTuber game shelf
Yeah.
setting.
Cool. And there's no Well, there's significantly less
lower risk of death
of you dying on camera.
Yeah.
So, you know what?
Although
One
the
of these-
numbers would be great. Let's be honest.
I'm
Wow.
dreading the crow I'm gonna have to eat when you're recording one of those and some random car
Yeah.
crashes into your house and kills you.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say you're not going to care. That would have come out wrong. But I mean, I'm not going to be able to say I told you so.
That's true. So, advantage Phil?
I think.
Oh boy, this is gonna be man. I hope you don't get killed by a car
I
in your
appreciate
home,
that.
Greg. Okay, I
figured,
know.
Yeah.
I know we have fun, and I know we do our little play banter back and forth like we don't much care for each other, but I really hope you are not killed in your home.
I appreciate that, Phil.
In your home.
I kind of assumed that
Outside
was
of
the
it, then
case.
fine.
I didn't
Yeah,
say
I mean, all
anything
bets are
about
off when I
that.
step out the front door.
I didn't say a word about that.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is Generation 16 is good stuff.
Thanks,
I
man.
guess that's my point. You know what? Finish Generation 16 and then
Oh well,
Whatever
I'll
you
live
gotta
to a ripe old age if I have to
Whatever you
finish
gotta do.
Generation 16 before I die. I'll be into the hundreds. I may set a
Oh.
record.
please do. I hope you do. And what else? Is that it? Is that
Yes.
Why not?
it?
Let's make
CJ,
that it.
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you for the thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Gregory,
Yo,
happy birthday, man.
thanks, man.
It's your
I'm
birthday.
perfecting this 29th birthday. I've done it a few times.
It's not a few dozen
Oh,
times.
well, yeah.
So
Nice.
And please remember, Extra Life stream
Yes.
this weekend, Saturday.
Yeah.
12
Uh,
hours.
9 a.m. Be
What are
there.
you playing?
Okay.
What are you playing again?
A bunch of donor requests. It's going to be mostly co-op stuff. A friend of mine, fellow Extra Lifer, who was based in Ontario until his wife actually just moved to Halifax, and they're actually renting from us.
Oh,
He's going to come up and be there the whole day as well.
Nice.
And we'll play some co-op games, some Genesis
Very
stuff,
nice.
some Saturn stuff. We'll get some Mario Kart 8 going for the
Awesome.
fans. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time.
cool. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So tune in everyone and give to help the kids. My
Mm,
goodness. And I guess we'll see everyone else next week. Y'all.
Sounds good. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oodles.